It's Stacy Essner from Compass. I am here with Coffee Talk. I am going to be talking to Amanda. I'm not going to say her last name because I will butcher it. From 24 East Media. And we are going to have her join us in just a minute. About what she does and how she helps not just realtors, but other people with their social media. Hi,
Hello.
Amanda.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining me. So, tell everyone a little bit about what you do and about your company.
Sure. So we are 24 East Media. I am the founder. We are a full service marketing agency. We offer clients, from brand inception to, maybe more established brands out there, social media management, lead generation. We work with brands who are looking to develop logos. So companies of all sizes at all stages in life throughout their journey, really brand awareness, lead generation, and trying to get the word out.
And so, I know you represent or you work with a lot of realtors. That's how I actually met you through Carla Dorsey and her team. You work with them a lot. How do you help, or what is the biggest thing that you do to help realtors grow their brand? And what tips do you have to help us grow our brand throughout not just our local market, but throughout the country?
Definitely. So, what we do with a lot of real estate agents throughout the country, the first one is just making sure that they have a brand presence, especially in the digital space. A lot of people, you can have a Facebook and you can have an Instagram. Some people aren't super active. Some people, post here and there. They're not sure what to post. So, making sure that they are where their audience is, even if you're not, actively looking for, customers on LinkedIn. You want to show a presence on there and make sure that if someone is looking, you're there. So we're making sure that we're getting people active. Consistency is key, I would say. I just wrote a whole blog today about consistency on social media and its importance. And that's something that I struggled with in the beginning as well, too. Sometimes, you're at a loss for words of what to say or who you're talking to. So nailing down your target audience, answering their frequently asked questions on there is super important. We also help real estate agents a lot with developing websites because, social media is great, but everyone else is also on there. So you want something that's really your own. And that's, I think, the importance of a website where that comes in. You're answering the question who, what, when, where, and why on that website. And all your social media platforms and platforms out there are all connecting back to that home base. So that is really good for brand awareness. And then thirdly, I think a lot of agents are of course looking for lead generation. So we work with a lot of doing brand awareness ads, lead generation ads, reaching out to people maybe that haven't interacted with them in the past, and also reaching out to retargeting people who maybe were warm at one time and started getting cold in their lead database. So that's been, I think three of the major things that we help with real estate agents do.
So you mentioned consistency. No, someone asked me to ask you, how, what are some tips that you can have or you can provide people with to be consistent? Because I know it's hard for us to always be consistent. Or are there some tools that you can suggest that we use so we can post on a regular basis, some free tools or inexpensive tools?
I'm all about free. So, Meta, as they call it, Facebook, um, they're connected to Instagram. So they have their business suite, which you're able to plan all of your content in. So it's called the Business Suite Planner, where you can schedule both on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, which is really awesome. I use that platform a lot, just to help us out throughout the week, because again, we're not always, like you said, thinking of social media. It's kind of just at the back of our minds. So I go throughout the week. I schedule a week in advance. And you can do more than a week in advance. I do a week in advance in the marketing space, being that it changes daily, and sometimes things I post on Monday aren't as accurate as they were when I posted on Wednesday. And that can also happen with the real estate market as well. So I say business to schedule Facebook, Instagram. I also utilize Hootsuite if I want to just throw LinkedIn and Google in there as well. That is not a free platform. I don't think it's super inexpensive. I'm not sure what their prices are at this point. But that where you can also include LinkedIn in there, being that it's not related to Facebook or Instagram. And then I love Canva as a startup, someone who's looking for inexpensive or free. They have a lot of cool templates that you can, customize for your own branding. You can add your colors in there. What I like is you can add your brand kit in there with your logo and everything. So when you're creating a piece of content, you can just click on your brand kit, and it kind of brands everything to your brand, which is great.
Yeah, I use Canva every day. So I totally agree with you. I think it's an important tool for all of us to have. And it's like $99 a year, so it's totally inexpensive.
And that's a good thing. They do have a free version, but you can also have a team version as well, so you can add other people to your team. You can see what everyone's working on, so it's really great, cool.
Yeah. Um, and I know like with Instagram as well as with Facebook, there's reels, there's stories, there's just static posts, there's carousel posts. What do you think is the most important if someone has to focus on just one of those?
I know a lot of people are not going to like this answer, but if I could focus on one, I would say video content, which you do a great job at. Not a lot of people like to be on camera, and that's okay. There's workarounds to that. But Instagram and their algorithm and Facebook, they do prioritize video content. The marketing rule of thumb is you have less than 3 seconds to make an impression on someone with the content that you're posting. And animated content is going to catch someone's eye over maybe a still image. Not always, but statistics show most of the time. So with Reels, you don't have to post your face. You can post other things, especially for real estate agents. I like to take the walkthrough videos that they do through the MLS, where they get professional photographers or videographers to take around the house. I like to chop those up and make reels with those, just to give a glimpse of things, so that people can click on it to learn more. I do like the on-camera videos as well, again, which I think you do a great job at, where you're actually talking to your audience. People are getting to know you and the person behind, the social media content. And then you can also just do animated posts. I know Canva is good with that, where you can make letters move and fun things, which it would also post as a reel as well.
Got it. So definitely the reels and the short videos.
Definitely. With still content, you can reach people out of your audience. But again, Instagram and Facebook prioritize video content more to show people outside of your following. And that's how you end up on the Explore page and things like that. So the chances of you reaching a larger audience through video content is more likely.
Okay, so one other thing about Instagram, they have the if you have a business profile, can you just talk a little, just briefly, the difference between the business profile and a creator profile?
Sure. So a business profile is good for businesses who are, really looking at their insights and analytics. The creator profile is not much different, except for the fact that you choose the music you want, which I think is super important. I have all my profiles, even 20 Media, which is a business, on a creative profile or creator profile, so that when it comes to making reels and content like that, I can choose the music that I want. I can choose the most popular. I'm not sure why that they have that setting off for businesses. Hopefully that's something that they'll update one day. But I can, have a better chance of people seeing the content outside of that when you're using trending songs and music and sounds like that. But both do provide, super intuitive insights where you can see, okay, this content is outperforming that. Maybe I start doing more of A rather than B, and things like that.
And then, do you have a suggestion for us to help get better engagement? You know, people say if you start commenting on other people's posts, you'll get better engagement on your stuff. I mean, is there any rhyme, or does that is that true?
It's definitely true when you're engaging with other profiles. They'll start to see you more. Again, Instagram and with Reels, they do prioritize people that are very active. So if you're commenting on someone else's, then that person's more likely to see your content the next time that they scroll through Instagram. It's kind of not how it used to be when you just post on Instagram, followers see your content. It's not like that anymore. People outside of your following are seeing your content unless you're on private. But speaking for creators and business owners, hashtags are super important when it comes to reaching more audiences. You want to not only post your branded hashtags. So for example, Stacy Yesner or Chicago, you want to also post about utilize hashtags that are the content that you're speaking of, so
Right.
topics, things. And then you also want to check on what's trending in the hashtag world, if it's relevant, if it's appropriate, utilize those. um,
And how do you really figure out what hashtags are appropriate, or how, for realtors or for any specific occupation, there could be a million hashtags.
Definitely. There are sites out there that you can plug in. There's hashtag generators, what's trending, what's not. You can put in specific keywords to the topic that you're discussing. For example, if you wanted to type in top real estate hashtags on Google, it would show the top 10 and rankings among of people on platforms. But also things that you've seen on other people's content. When you use the search bar, you can type in, maybe it happens to be Wednesday, so you type in Wednesday and see what hashtags are popping up for that you can choose. I wouldn't do more than 10 though, otherwise it can get a little bit too aggressive. So pick your top 10 and
So would you suggest that they be more hyper focused to the area, or should there be some more general ones, or what do you typically suggest?
a good mix. It's kind of like a cooking recipe. You got different ingredients that make, the ultimate successful meal. I like to choose, things that, so hashtag 24 Ace Media would be one that I utilize. And then maybe I'm talking about social media content in that post and I want to, use some social media hashtags, social media management, social media services. And then maybe I'm talking about, new blog that I just wrote. I want to, take that topic of the blog I just wrote and use that in a hashtag. So it's definitely a good mix. It doesn't have to all be applicable to, your company. You want to get, outside, Sunday Fun is a big one as well. And really just, like I said, a good mix.
Got it. Got it. So the other thing that you talked about was the type of ads that you ran. So you do lead generation and you also do retargeting.
Mm-hmm.
So what does a retargeting ad look like, and how do you do that?
Yeah, so the fun thing about Facebook, Instagram, and Google is you can take your current database um, and take all the emails in a CSV file and upload them into an audience in Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram will then say, okay, this email is connected to this person's Facebook, and go through and kind of match up Facebook to email profile. And then the people that you have entered into that retargeting campaign will start to see your brand awareness ads. So kind of like my favorite example is if you're online shopping and you are shopping for a pair of shoes, for example, and you don't buy them, but you clicked on it, maybe you saved it for later, and then the next day you go on Google or Facebook and you see those same exact shoes on the side in an ad, and you're like, what the heck? That's basically retargeting. They're going to keep showing up until that person performs an action, um, which is great. So with retargeting ads, you're putting your database into those ads, and your ad is showing to those people. And then also, we're targeting people who maybe have clicked on your website or clicked on your Instagram or Facebook profiles in the past. So you're taking cold leads and trying to get them warm again.
Got it. And so you've done that for realtors in addition to doing some brand development if people don't really have a brand. I know that that's one of the things that we've been talking a lot about with Andrew Jevin, the snapping realtor, that it's really important to figure out what your brand is
That,
and who you are, and that it shows up, whether it's colors on your Instagram page or just who you are and how you describe yourself. So
So if you notice, one way that I tried to get our Instagram profile for 24 East Media to stand out is utilizing our brand colors heavily, which can get hard at times because there's not a lot of black backgrounds out there that I can, use. But our whole entire feed is black with some pop of color or gold, like our logo.
mhm.
That's something that we tried to do to stand out. Not everyone has to do it like that, but definitely utilizing your colors so that people can associate those colors, that mark, the logo with you, for brand recognition.
Yeah, yeah. I think sometimes it's hard to, like, especially working for Compass where the brand is so, clear and defined, to then figure out who you are in in addition to that, because you don't want to deviate too far from that. So, like, so that's where I'm personally struggling figuring out how I would deviate from that. So,
The one example I can give, and I'll give them a shout out, is I've been working with the Sherman Messing Group, and they're in Miami, and
mhm,
they are the couple that runs Married at Compass, if anyone's heard of them. We just built their website at the shermanmessinggroup.com, and they, were black and white. They were utilizing the Compass colors. They wanted to stand out, so they introduced the bright color yellow to their platform. So on social media, you can see, they use splashes of yellow and bright blue, which is very Miami. A lot of, those colors are throughout the entire city. So it really matches, the area that they're working in, but also, the photographs that they use in their recent photo shoot, they're wearing yellow or blue, so different shades that make them stand out. They're still Compass related, there's still black and white in there. It's just that flash of color that really helps them, and it's very eye-catching.
yeah. No, and I understand that, but it's just figuring it all out, and like when you take pictures, making sure you incorporate the color into your photos and all of that.
Definitely.
So
It
it's just
can,
food for thought.
definitely. It can be a lot, but once you kind of get the hang of it, and it can be really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then the brand recognition. So is that also done? That's done through the targeting, right? So
Yeah.
like that, I've heard, because you do my brand recognition
Mhm.
ads, and I've had people all over the country say your ads are showing up on my Facebook feed.
Yes. So we're targeting people that have definitely interacted with you before, which is the fun part. You're going to get a lot of comments like that, which is great. So if they've ever clicked on your Instagram profile, they've ever clicked on one of your videos, we're retargeting them. And there's two different campaigns. One is, brand awareness, where, hey, I'm Stacy, welcome to Chicago, things like that. And then the retargeting ad, they've seen you before, so the messaging is a little bit different. So you don't want to say the same thing that you said before when you introduced yourself. You want to kind of go dive in a little bit deeper, how they nurture down the sales funnel.
Hmm.
Mm.
Great. Wow. A lot. It's a lot.
Lot. But I'm happy to help anytime. If anyone has any marketing questions, feel free to DM us. I love, collaboration and engaging with people's content. So let me know.
Yes. Well, I really do appreciate it, Amanda. You've been a big help for me.
Oh, it's been great working with you. I love the collaboration and especially, the whole Compass family out there has been super awesome. And I love, meeting people in all different areas across the country, even the
Yeah.
world.
And we are now global with the collaboration with Barnes, so it's been awesome.
Super exciting.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you so much, and I will make sure that your information is in the post once this gets shared. So if anyone wants to reach out to you, they will be able to do so.
Awesome.
And I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to our continued working together.
Emily, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You, Laura, I'm glad we were able to answer your questions. So thank you so much, Amanda, and have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.